Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Tiffany, and today we're here with another Tips Treats, and it's a special Tips Treats because we're talking on the lines of purity jewelry.
Open up, shut it down like a Macintosh. Open up, open.
So today I want to start off today's video with a little bit of a story. So I took the purity journey, maybe like sixth or 7th grade. I decided to be pure, which means initially that meant that I was going to abstain from sex. But officially, like when I got the full definition of purity, it was like, yes, I'm really doing this whole purity thing. Probably like 20 years old is when I really decided to do that. But when I decided to be pure, when I turned 20, I wanted to make sure that I commemorated my purity with some type of jewelry. And a lot of people have purity rings, some people have purity bracelets. I mean, now in today's times, it doesn't just have to be a purity ring. I have a purity ring, and I actually wear it on my left hand. Some people wear it on the right hand, some people wear it on their left hand. So I got my first purity ring in 2014. But it was the cutest ring ever. And I was super excited about it. And that was my first purity ring. It sort of looked like a wedding ring. It didn't really look like a wedding ring, but it kind of did from far away. And I'm even going to talk about how like some purity jewelry looks like wedding rings, and how, you don't want the misconception to be that you're already married when you're really not, and potential bachelors, wanting to approach you, but thinking that you're actually married, so how that may potentially deter them. So we'll talk about that in this video too. So, yes, my first purity ring, it kind of looked like a wedding ring, and I lost it. For me, it's hard for me to keep my purity rings on when I go to sleep because I am kind of a wild sleeper. But it's just uncomfortable, and especially in the summertime, my hands and my feet typically tend to swell. That was a random fact. You guys probably didn't need to know that. But my hands tend to swell sometimes, and so especially in the summertime, it gets a little uncomfortable for me to sleep in my rings and jewelry, period. So I usually take my jewelry off. So I lost my first ring in 2014. Fast forward another 2 years, I actually stopped wearing my purity ring because I do find it. I lost it, but I do find that same exact one, and I actually stopped wearing it because I just got some negative people saying things about me wearing a purity ring just in general, like nobody's doing that anymore. You're wasting your time wearing a purity ring. Nobody's really gonna believe that you're pure. Why are you even doing that? It seems like kind of a waste of time. I got just lots of negative effects, and that's one of the things that actually stimulated me to actually write my book, Purity on Purpose, was because I was getting such negative responses to me telling people that I was living a pure life. And so I stopped wearing my purity ring for probably about a year because I felt kind of ashamed about it. Then once I decided to write my book and kind of reproclaim my purity and reestablish the definition of purity, because a lot of people just, like I said, simply assume that means you're being abstinent, but that's one component of it, but that's not the whole thing. So once I reestablished myself in the purity world, and I didn't stop being pure, I just stopped proclaiming purity. And so once I relaunched and jumped into being the purity preacher, teacher lady, I got a new purity ring. So this is purity ring number 2 because, again, I lost it for the second time, my first ring. So yeah, so I got purity ring number 2, okay? Purity ring number 2 was the cutest little ring, and I lost that one as well. That's ring number 2. Purchased another ring, and this time it's a cross ring. It doesn't look like a wedding ring, even though I still do wear it on my wedding finger. I really like to think of it as my commitment finger. It will be my wedding ring finger, but right now it's my commitment finger with my commitment ring. But yeah, I lost ring number 2. I purchased ring number 3. That was a cross and like a diamond cross. Lost ring number 3. And I have now purchased ring number 4, which is the same exact diamond cross ring. Sorry, my nails are not done. Should have got them done for this video, right? You know, like when people show their engagement ring, they're like, their nails are always done. Duh, Tiffany. But you know, it is what it is. You know, you love me or you hate me, but you love me clearly because it's me. But anyways, so this is ring number 4, and I'm planning on sleeping, eating, and breathing in this ring because I'm not gonna lose it again, only because I've lost 4 rings, well, 3 rings, and this is ring number 4. So my plan is to sleep in this one, maybe not take a shower in it, so just do a really good job of keeping up with it while I'm taking a shower. But other than that, I'm gonna keep this ring on and not take it off as often. It's just because I'm not used to having jewelry on my fingers, but I guess I need to get some practice for when there's actually a wedding ring on there, so. But yes, so this is ring number 4. So that's my little story, and I just wanted to share, for anyone who's thinking about getting a purity ring or really wants to know what the purpose of a purity ring is. Purity ring is not necessary for you to have while you're living pure. It is just a symbol, an outward symbol of your heart commitment. And so a lot of people wear purity shirts, or a lot of people wear purity bracelets or purity necklaces. It's the same thing. It's just a symbol of your love. Just like a wedding ring is a symbol of the outward commitment, or the inward and the outward commitment that you've committed one to God and with your spouse. And it's purity. A purity ring is the same exact idea. Not the same thing, but the same idea. And so anybody who's thinking about purchasing one, there's no particular one that you need to purchase. You can get a rubbered one. You can get one that has a cross. You can get one that has like kind of almost looks like a wedding band. You can put a scripture in it. So whatever you want, you can customize it. So myth number 1 that a lot of people think is you shouldn't wear it on your left hand. I have friends who have purity rings and they wear it on their right hand, and I also have friends who wear it on their left hand. I, like I said, personally wear it on my left hand because for me, it symbolizes my commitment to one, God, and to what I've vowed to being pure in my mind, my heart, with my intentions, and with my body. And so I do wear it on my left finger because I feel like this is my commitment finger. So when I eventually get a spouse, I am going to wear my ring on this finger because it's going to be my commitment finger. So I'm going to be committed to a thing, and committed to my marriage. And right now I'm committed to, of course, God, and committed to myself. And I'm committed to, because I owe it to myself to be pure. Not only do I owe it to God, but I owe it to myself. It's a privilege to get to serve God and worship God in a form of purity. And so I owe it to myself to be consistent with it. I owe it to myself to be successful at it. And I owe it to myself to even keep going even when I fail or fall down with my purity or make a mistake with my purity. So I owe it to not only God, but I owe it to myself. So it's a reminder to God and myself of the commitment that I've committed to God and to living this pure lifestyle. And when I say lifestyle, I mean forever. So even after I get married, my marriage ring will also symbolize my purity to my marriage and to my God and to myself as well. So, because I don't stop being pure when I get married. That's one of the things that I preach. My purity message is holistic. So it's for the married person, the single person, the courting person, the engaged person, the divorced person, whatever else there is out there. I don't know, I kind of fool with somebody, but I don't really know what this is person, all of those categories it's for. My message is for the concept of purity is for. It's not mine, it's God's, but I get to be the messenger to share it. And for those of you who also are curious about potentially you wearing your purity ring on your left hand or on your wedding hand, and how potential suitors, whether male or female, like if you're a male and you're wearing a purity ring, or you're female and you're wearing a purity ring, how the opposite sex may confuse, like, oh, maybe they're married, maybe I shouldn't approach them, maybe I shouldn't be interested in them because they're married, or engaged, or whatever the case may be. My advice is, like I said, it's a personal preference. It's whatever you choose. You're not wrong or right whether you choose to wear it on your left or right hand. It's just personal preference. If you feel like it looks like it's a wedding ring, you may not want to wear it on your wedding hand because it may be interpreted as a wedding ring. Now, mine's pretty simple. It doesn't really look like a wedding ring per se. And maybe from far away, you may possibly mistake it for a wedding ring, but I tried to find something that specifically doesn't, because I've had one that looked like a wedding ring kind of before. And even with that, I definitely did not deter people from trying to approach me at all. So I think they were able to recognize that it wasn't a wedding ring. And then I think when especially for women, when men see something that they desire or want, then they will approach you. So you shouldn't be intimidated by your ring, and they shouldn't be intimidated by your ring either. And you know, sometimes a male ring can look like a marriage ring because it may just be a solid band. If you are inquiring about that person, check and double check, you know, maybe ask a friend who is associated with them, like, hey, are they married? Are they engaged? Like, what's the scoop or what's the story on so-and-so? So that dispels that myth of if you wear it on your finger that people will think that you're married. So that's not always the case. People are attracted to who they are attracted to, and they will approach who they desire to approach. You make time for what you want to make time for, and you approach who you desire to approach. So that's that on that. Guess that's my purity spiel for today. Thank you for joining Table Talk. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share this video, and subscribe. So click the subscribe button below, and also click the bell while you're at it so that you can get the notifications of when I launch a new video. So I'm trying to post weekly. I'm doing pretty good at it. So typically every Monday I post a new video. So sometimes it's a random what I got going on in my life video. Sometimes it's an encouraging video. Sometimes it's a silly video. Sometimes it's a serious video. And you never know when I'm going to have a special guest either. So thank you guys for joining me on today. That was my well. And I hope to see you next week on Monday, because I'm releasing another video. So to Monday's video. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.